We are live. All right. Welcome, everybody.
Recording.
All right. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I just wait one more minute to see if anybody's joining. And in the meantime, if you're watching this after this starts, please know that, well, my name is Andrea, first of all. I don't know if you've practiced with me before or not. In case you haven't, I always suggest that you have some props available, anything that's available at your place. So if you don't have blocks or bolsters, we can also work with cushions or pillows or blankets as well. Big books I also recommend, or even bottles of water. They are a nice prop too. So take your time to arrive. Take your time to arrive. We're going to start in a seated position. I'm going to sit in my block just to keep my spine as tall as I can. This helps me as well to keep my hips over my knees so they can kind of like unfold towards the mat. We're gonna start today in a seated position, as I said, with a little bit of awareness to the breath. All right, so bring your hands to rest on your thighs, or maybe one hand to rest on the other with your palms facing up. Closing your eyes for a moment. Begin to connect with your breath. Maybe start finding again your way into your breath. Finding a deeper connection. Just observing how agitated or not is the heart or the breath as well. And you notice your heartbeat, where you were running to catch up in class, or you were doing something at your home. So anything that belongs to the past, let's just keep it in the past. And the future as well, we can just keep it in the future. It's not, it hasn't happened yet, so it doesn't exist yet. For the last full hour, it is only about yourself and your breath. Take a moment to bring your hands at the center of the chest in Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment to set up any intentions or any dedications to your practice. If you feel comfortable oming at home with me, please join me with the sound of Om. If not, just enjoy the sound. Take a deep inhale to Om. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunatu, Sahaviryam Karvavahai, Etasvinavaditamastu, Mavipishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Releasing your hands to your thighs. Bringing your shoulders towards your ears. And as you squeeze your shoulders towards your ears, begin to rotate them back and down, relaxing them down. Let's do that again. Deep inhale to reach the shoulders towards the ears. And on the exhale, we're relaxing down and back, creating a lot of space on the neck. Shoulder blades kind of hugging towards each other. They are not really crunching towards each other, but they are kind of like active in here. Sitting tall, hugging the ribs in. Take a nice big inhale to reach your hands towards the sky, interlacing your fingers, tucking the chin towards the chest. Take a nice big breath in. Full breath out. Releasing your hands by your side. Let's do that again. Deep inhale, reaching up towards the sky, interlacing those fingers, turning the palms away from you. Tucking the chin towards the chest, hugging the ribs in. Sitting nice and tall, root down through your sit bones. Take one more breath. Exhale it out. Begin to rotate your spine towards the right hand side. Release your hands and drop the left hand to your right thigh. The other hand comes back for support. Take a nice breath. Full breath out. One more. On the exhale, we come back to center. Maybe we swipe the arms above us, and on the exhale, we switch towards the second side. Take another deep breath in, and a full breath out. One more. On the exhale, we start coming back to center, extending your legs in front of you, giving them a shake. Bringing the feet nice and wide. The left foot is going to step onto the inside of the right thigh. Take a breath, reaching tall. On the exhale, we're going to lean towards the extended leg. Don't drop your hands in here. Just try to hold an imaginary beach ball over your head. Take another breath, keeping your torso open as you lean towards your side. Take one more in. Maybe you drop your right hand to your ankle to connect with your shin or your thigh. It doesn't really matter. But as you connect, keep on rotating the chest and keeping them open towards the sky. Take another breath. Exhale it out. One more. On the exhale, we come back to center. Hands behind you. Pressing to that heel, pressing to that knee. Reaching the hips up, just finding a nice counter posture. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, hips come down, release the leg, shaking that out. Bringing the other foot in, the inside of the thigh, keep on pressing that other knee, other heel down. Take one more breath as you reach. On the exhale, we lean towards our left hand side. Take a breath as you keep your chest open. Long exhale. Maybe you drop your hand to your thigh or your shin or your ankle, and we reach a little bit more towards the side. Take a breath. If your neck allows in here, maybe you look towards your top palm. Long exhale. Coming back to your neutral position, placing those hands behind you. Pressing into that heel, pressing again into the thigh, reaching those hips off the ground. Take a nice breath, keep your chest open. On the exhale, we release. Extend both legs towards the side. Plant your hands in front of you. Begin to walk all the way forward. Trying to root down through your sit bones and keeping your heels well planted on the ground. We're not looking into folding forward a lot in here. We're just warming up. Just pressing to those hands and reach with the heart moving forward. Take a breath. Long exhale. One more. On the exhale, come back to center, closing back those legs, crossing those ankles, pressing those hands on the floor, coming to your tabletop. And as you find your tabletop in here, A little bit of a warm up in the hands, just finding some big circles towards your right hand side, pressing into those palms, every corner of your palms working here. Spreading your fingers wide. Take another breath, keep your spine long. Long exhale, hugging on through the core. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, we switch sides. We send those hips back and forward, and we start rotating, finding that nice warm up for our wrist and hip. One more inhale here. On the exhale, we come back to center. The hands are going to turn towards the side with your fingers pointing towards the side. This is going to lean towards one side or the other for a couple of times, just warming up, finishing the warm up for the wrist. Try not to collapse in here through your shoulders, arching your back. Just try to kind of like tuck the tailbone in and pushing the ground away from us with the hands. Coming back to center. Extending your leg behind you, your right leg behind you, your toes tucked under. We'll lean forward and back, warming up your ankle in here. We'll lean forward and back, coming to the tiptoes and back. As you find your center, pressing to those palms, float that leg off the ground. Take a deep breath in, reach your left hand overhead. On the exhale, squeeze the knee towards the nose. Deep inhale to reach up and back. On the exhale, the elbow is going to open in a cactus shape, and the knee is going to come and want to touch towards the right tricep. Take a deep inhale, reaching up and back. Exhale, squeeze towards the center. Deep inhale, reaching up and back. Exhale, squeeze towards the side. Deep breath in, reaching up. Exhale, center. Inhale, squeeze it back. Exhale, towards the side. Take a deep inhale to lengthen. On the exhale, plant that knee, plant that hand on the ground. Extend those hands forward, coming to Anahatasana. Your forehead comes down. Keep on touching the tailbone, hugging onto the core. Take one more breath. Full exhale. One more. Long exhale. Pressing those hands on the ground, begin to rise back into your tabletop. And again, from here, we extend the left leg behind us. The toes tucked under. We just start leaning back and forward gently, warming up that ankle. Take a breath. Full breath up. One more. On the exhale, we come back to center as we float that leg behind us. Toes at 6 o'clock and reaching the other arm forward. Deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale to squeeze towards the center. Deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze towards the side. Deep breath in, reaching up and back. Exhale, squeeze center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze to the side. Take a deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to lengthen. We go to the side for the last one. Take a deep inhale, reach. On the exhale, plant that hand, plant that knee on the ground. Sitting your hips back towards your heels, opening your knees wide, coming onto your child's pose. Take a moment again to connect with your breath, with your intention. And as you start finding again your breath, pressing into those hands, coming back to your center. Pressing the left hand this time underneath your face. So we move the hands to the midline. So we're gonna move the hand to the midline. The left knee is gonna stay down. We're gonna extend the right leg behind us, opening to Vashisthasana towards the right hand side. The right hand comes up towards the sky or can come to your hip. Take a breath in here. Full exhale. Maybe you look up in here, keep the knee down on the ground. Start to bring the right hand, that's the hand on top, to hold the back of the head. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, maybe you stay or maybe you bring that elbow down, squeezing into the other one. Take a deep inhale as you reach. Exhale to squeeze it back in. Take a deep inhale, reach and extend. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one, deep inhale, pressing into those hands. On the exhale, we squeeze. We stay here for one cycle of breath. Take a deep inhale. Long exhale. One more. On the exhale, we release back into our Vashisthasana, extending the arm towards the sky. On the exhale, we plant that hand on the ground, plant that knee back on the ground, extending both legs coming to your plank. Take a nice big inhale, tucking the tailbone, pushing the ground away from you. Exhale, release hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Long exhale. One more. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, reach your right leg behind you. On the exhale, we're gonna plant that foot in between the hands, the back knee is gonna come to the ground, Anjaneyasana. Take a breath in here, open the chest, maybe you look up, long exhale. Press into those hands, step the other foot forward and fold. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale to just fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands by your side. Deep inhale, reaching up. On the exhale, we find a nice forward fold. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Step the left foot back to your Anjaneyasana, same side. Take a breath in here. Maybe you climb your hands to your thigh, and this time pressing those hips low. Take another inhale here. Full exhale. Maybe you bring your hands towards the sky in this one. And on the exhale, we'll lean forward. We take the hands back and we slow it out. Take a deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale, leaning forward, taking them back. Deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale, leaning forward and back. Inhale to reach. On the exhale, we lean forward and take the hands back. Maybe we interlace those hands behind us. Take a nice big inhale. Keep on bringing that torso glute to your thigh. On the exhale only, start sending those hips back, straightening that front leg. Ardha Hanumanasana. If you need a little bit more balance, you release your hands and bring the hands to your to the mat. Take another breath. Long exhale. Coming back to center, rebending that knee. Stepping back to your tabletop. Dropping the belly to open the chest. Exhale to round the spine, pushing the ground away from us. Coming back to center. As you start bringing this time the right hand underneath the face, just walking towards the midline. The right knee stays on the ground and the other leg reaches back into Vashisthasana on our second side. And here, maybe the top hand comes to your hip. Keep on pressing that hand down. Take a nice big inhale, bringing that hand for support, to support the back of the head. Nice big inhale, opening it here. On the exhale, maybe, just maybe, you start closing here, bringing the elbow towards the lower arm. Take a deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to reach. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale to find some length. Exhale to squeeze. Last one. Inhale. We're gonna stay on the exhale in here, hugging in. Take a breath. Long exhale. One more. On the exhale, we release the hand, reaching towards the sky, planting the hand on the ground, coming back to our tabletop. Straightening those legs again, bringing the tailbone in, pressing into your plank. Take another breath. On the exhale, we push the hips up and back, coming to downward facing dog. Take another cycle of that. And a long exhale. On your next inhale, step the left foot in between the hands. The back knee comes to the ground. Anjaneyasana position. Your fingertips stay on the ground. Your gaze goes towards the sky. Take a breath. On the exhale, plant those hands to step forward and fold. Rooting down through your feet, come all the way up. Samasthiti, hands by your side. Take a deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward folding here. Plant those hands, step the right foot back this time. Knee comes down and we open in here. Take a breath and a long exhale. And again in here, maybe we climb those hands to the thigh. We keep the chest open, or maybe we reach the hands towards the sky. Maybe we stay, maybe we flow it out again. We take a breath. On the exhale, we'll lean forward and reach the hands back. Deep breath in to reach up. Exhale, leaning forward and hands back. Inhale to reach. Exhale, forward and back. Gonna change, take a deep inhale, reaching up. On the exhale, we'll lean forward and back. Maybe we stay, maybe we interlace those fingers. Activating those shoulders, shoulder blades together. The torso is glued to the front thigh. Maybe you stay, or maybe you begin to extend that front leg, coming to Ardha Hanumanasana on a nice balance in here. Take another breath. Exhale it out. Rebending that knee, releasing those hands, planting those hands back on the ground, stepping back to our tabletop. We drop the belly to open the chest. On the exhale, we round the spine, pushing the ground away from us. Take a deep inhale to open. Exhale, round and bring the hips up and back, coming to your child pose. Take a moment here, connect again with your breath. Pressing into those hands. Coming back to your tabletop. Extending those legs behind you, tucking the tailbone in your plank. On the exhale, we move up and back, coming to downward facing dog. Take a full cycle of breath in here. And a long exhale. On your next inhale, raise your right leg behind you. On the exhale, plant that foot in between the hands, high runner's lunge. Your fingertips stay on the ground for a moment as you stand your hands up and you stay in that balance. If it's necessary, bring the back knee to the ground. If not, to just stay with your legs straight. Take another breath. Long exhale. Maybe you stay in here, or again, we flow it out. We reach the hands back as we move the torso forward. Take a deep inhale to reach up. Exhale to move back and forward. Take a deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale, move back and forward. One more deep breath in, reaching up. Exhale, forward and back. And maybe you stay in here. Maybe you begin to float the back leg. You are in warrior three. Your hands can stay back, can come to interlace, can come towards the side, or maybe for a little bit of balance, bring the hands to the heart. Nice big inhale, strong foundation, long exhale. Drop those hands to the floor, extend that leg behind you, standing split. Another big inhale. Exhale it out. Keep the right hand on the ground. Begin to bring the left hand to your hip. Maybe you stay in here. Maybe you begin to rotate your hip without changing your foot. Rotate your hip towards the side. We are in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon posture. Opening the chest towards the side. Your toes turn towards the side as well. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, with control, begin to bend the standing leg, landing back into your warrior two. Extend the arms towards your side. Keep lunging through that front leg. Take a nice big inhale, looking forward to your fingers. Long exhale. Hands to your hip. Extend that front leg. Turning all 10 toes towards the side of the mat. Rotating your shoulders back, take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, we fall forward to the center. And maybe you have a block with you. Bringing a block underneath the head works as well. It helps with the grounding. Take another breath. Long exhale. Last inhale. Full breath out. Micro bend the knees. Start coming all the way back to standing. Turning the right foot towards the top of the mat, back again. Extending your arms towards the side. Trikonasana, hinging forward, dropping that right hand to your shin or to a block. The other hand reaches up. Take a nice big inhale. Try not to hyperextend on the front leg. Keep a micro bend there. Nice big inhale. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, rise up back to standing. Rebend that leg. Plant those hands on the ground to your runner's lunge. That means your back heel came off the ground for this one. Maybe you bring your knee to the ground and step back to Vashisthasana, or maybe you press the left hand on the ground and step your front leg back with feet together, Vashisthasana. Take what you need. Take a couple more breaths in here. Take a nice big inhale. Take the variation of Vashisthasana that you're working on. Full breath out. Coming back to center, press those hands on the ground. Step back to your plank. With knees or toes, lower down. Find your back and inhale. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to breathe. Maybe you bring your knees to the ground for a moment. Step back to your child's pose, bringing the forehead down. Find again your ground. If the floor is too far away, maybe we bring the block or a book underneath the forehead too. Whenever you feel ready, pressing those hands on the ground, back again. Switching back into your downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in here. Maybe you pedal your feet, pressing those hands firmly on the ground. On your next inhale, reach your left leg behind you. On the exhale, we're gonna plant that foot in between the hands, setting up for high runner's lunge. Take a deep breath in, reaching your hands towards the sky. The heel stays off the ground. Take one more breath in here. Full breath out. And as I said, you are welcome to bring your back knee to the floor if this is something you are feeling today. Or you can keep the balance in here. Option to stay, option to let it flow, reaching forward and back with your hands. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale to reach forward and back. Keeping your balance, take a deep inhale, reaching up. Exhale, reach back and forth. Deep inhale, reaching up. On the exhale, we reach back with the hands, leaning forward with the torso. Maybe we stay, or maybe we float that second leg, coming into your warrior three position, finding your balance, strong standing leg. Take another breath. Long exhale. If you are in your warrior three here, whatever arm variation, just drop those hands on the ground to standing split. Bend your knee as much as you need in here. Use your block if that's necessary. Pressing the left hand on the ground, the other hand comes to your hip. We begin to rotate that hip towards the side. Try not to change the standing foot coming into your variation of half moon posture. Take a breath in here. Full breath out. One more. On the exhale, start bending that standing leg, touching back down with control, opening to your warrior two. Nice big breath in. Full breath out to sink into your pose. One long breath. Exhale it out. Again, hands to your hips. Turning all 10 toes towards the side of the mat. Take a deep breath in to reach your hands towards the sky. On the exhale, we're going to turn the toes towards the corners of the mat and sit low into our goddess pose in here. Opening the arms towards the sides is an option. Keeping your hands reaching up. Just be careful in here not to exaggerate that curvature of the spine in here. So if your pose looks like this, that you're sticking your bum back and your torso forward, you want to really align and bring the hips in towards the midline. Take a nice big breath in. Full breath out. One more. On the exhale, straight those legs. Extend your hands behind you. Turn all 10 toes back to the side of the mat. Rolling your shoulders back, catching your hips, or interlacing your fingers, depending on what variation of Prasarita you want. Take another breath. On the exhale, we fold forward over the legs. If you got your hands, maybe to soften those shoulders, keep pressing those palms towards the sky, away from you. If you drop your hands to the floor or you touch your big toes, great. Take a breath as you extend. On the exhale, release all the way down to the ground, bringing the crown of the head, hopefully to something solid. As I said, we can use a pile of books. One more deep breath in. Full breath out. And your next inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale it out. Root down through your feet, come all the way up. On the exhale, we're going to move the left foot towards the front of the mat. Extending your arms beside you, finding Trikonasana on your second side. Your torso moves forward and down, reaching to your side and extending the upper hand towards the sky. Take a breath. Long exhale. One more. Exhale it out. With your next inhale, gaze down, micro bend the knee, coming back to standing. Windmill your hand, step it back to your plank. With knees or toes, lower down. Find your back and inhale. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here to breathe. On your next inhale, raise your heel, bend your knee, walk, step, or hop to your knees for a moment. We sit back in Vajrasana, option to bring a block underneath your hip for sensitive knees. Sit back in Vajrasana for a moment. Hands to your thighs. Torso is nice and tall. Take a nice big inhale to reach your hands towards the sky. On the exhale, we're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together, bringing the elbows towards the side, keeping your hands open, like in goddess pose. Take a nice big inhale. Full exhale. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you start lowering your right hand and turning the palm towards the back of the room. Without changing the position of your torso, begin to bring the top hand to the back of your head and the lower hand to your lower back in this shape. Take a breath in here. Long exhale. Observe if your ribs want to pop out. Keep them in. Take another inhale here. Full exhale. Maybe you stay in here, or maybe you keep on walking those hands towards each other. Maybe you interlace. You can touch your tips of the fingers with the opposite hand, or maybe you don't. Maybe you use some help from a strap in here, or you use a little bit of help holding your shirt in here as well. That works. Take a breath, keep your spine tall. Try not to pop the ribs out. Long exhale. Coming back to center, extending the arms, reaching towards the sky, interlacing your fingers, tucking the chin, releasing them back down. Let's do that on the second side. Once again, we reach those hands towards the sky. We squeeze those shoulder blades together, coming to cactus arm. Again, the option for you is to stay here, holding on to your shoulder blades, squeezing those shoulder blades together, or dropping your left hand this time. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you begin your way into that shape. When your top hand holds the back of the head and the lower hand comes to the lower back. Take a breath, lean back with your head against your hand and press that hand against your the back of the head. Take a breath. Long exhale. Maybe you stay, or maybe you keep on moving, until your top hand, your top elbow points up and the lower elbow points down. And maybe you touch your fingers or not. Trying to hug the ribs in. Maybe you hold on to your shirt or you hold on to your strap. Take a nice big inhale. Full exhale. On your next inhale, begin to come back to center, extending those arms, shaking them out. Press those hands on the ground. Maybe shake your legs for a moment. In Vajrasana can be a little bit challenging sometimes. Swing your legs towards one side, drop your hips towards the other, second side. Extend your legs forward. Lengthen your spine in here. On the exhale, we fold forward over the legs, catching the outsides of the feet or your fingers around your big toe. Keep your spine as long as possible. Micro the knees if you tend to hyperextend a lot. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, we fold forward over the legs. The chin comes towards the shin. The gaze goes to your toes. Paschimottanasana, side, west side stretch. Take another breath. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, we release. Pressing the feet together this time. We're going to start bringing the heels close towards us. But we're not going to go into Baddha Konasana, just the butterfly pose, also known as butterfly pose or bound angle pose. We're just going to keep them fairly open and fairly away from us. We want this diamond shape on our legs as we come into this pose. The hands go to your shins or to your knees. If they are a little bit closer, it's a little bit more comfortable. Rolling the shoulders back. Maybe you say, this is a nice hip open. This is a very intense hip opener. Maybe you stay in here, or maybe you keep on leaning forward with your chest, going forward with your heart, leading with it. Bringing your nose to reach towards your feet. Keeping your spine as long as you can. Stopping at any sensation on the back of the hip. As I said, it is a very intense hip opener. Take another breath. Long exhale. Keep on breathing in here. We're gonna stay for a couple of breaths in here. Maybe you notice that with time you can come a little bit more far. Just try to keep the chest open. We don't want to round the spine and keep on reaching like that. We really want to be with the torso open and the hands on the shins or the maybe you reach to here the feet. Keeping the chest as open as you can. Take another 2 cycles of breath. And your next inhale, begin to come back to center. Extend those legs forward, shaking them out. All right. Find your way into your back, to your reclined position, pressing those feet on the mat, hip distance apart. Noticing in here how your breath is working right now. If it's a little bit calmer than during the sequence where we're doing the standing poses. Press those hands on the ground, press those feet on the ground back again. Begin to activate those feet and just hover your hips from the ground. We're not going all the way up into Setovandasana. We're just gonna literally let it just hover those hips from the ground. Pressing into those hands, pressing into those feet. Take a nice big inhale, tucking the tailbone, keeping the spine long. Long exhale. One more. On the exhale, we release the hips all the way back to the ground. What do we want with this? We want to notice the activation of the thigh. We want to notice those hands really pressing and helping with the foundation and the root on the floor. And going all the way into Setovandasana is an option here. You can also hover in here as we were just doing, or bring in a block or two underneath your hips. It's always an option too. Press your hands on the ground. This time, press your feet on the ground and reach your head towards the sky. And again, noticing the foundation on how your feet are pressing and spreading wide on the mat, keeping that internal rotation of the thigh, keeping the tailbone tucked under, yes, but not squeezing into those glutes. Those glutes are active but relaxed, okay? So if you chose to bring your block underneath your hips, that's perfect. If you chose to keep the active variation, that's perfect as well. Take a couple of breaths in here. Nice big inhale. On the exhale, we release all the way down towards the ground. Extending your arms beside you, allowing your knees to fall to one side or the other for a couple of times. Finding windshield wipers with your knees. Bringing the knees into the chest, allowing them to feel a gentle squeeze with your arms. Maybe you hold on to your feet from the outside, bringing the knees into the armpits, coming into your happy baby posture. Maybe rocking side to side for a couple of times. Whenever you feel ready, you begin to come back to hold your knees into your chest. Give them a nice little squeeze in here. Maybe you bring your nose to your knees, squeezing them out a little bit more. Take another breath. On the exhale, we release all the way to the ground. Extend your legs, extend your arms. Finding your final relaxation posture, the most important posture of your asana practice, Shavasana. Take your time to feel how your body begins to melt on the ground. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu sashaka tvameva, tvameva vidya pravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Twameva Bhata Pita Twameva. Twameva Bandhu Sashaka Twameva. Twameva Vidya Trainam Twameva. Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. If you're feeling happy in your Shavasana, of course you're welcome to stay. If you're ready to invite some movement back into your body, begin to find a little bit of movement on your hands and your feet. Just being very gentle with the movement, your legs and your arms. Maybe you feel like extending your arms behind your head and together forward. Take a breath in here. Full breath out to let it go. Coming to your fetal position to the side of your choice. Taking a moment to connect again with the ground underneath you. As you begin to find your way into your seated position with your eyes closed, with the hands at the center of the chest. Taking a moment to connect again with your intention, with your dedication, to find gratitude for this ancient practice and its teaching, for our breath, and its connection with the body, the mind, and the soul. Rub your palms together and cover your eyes. Rub your palms one more time to cover that part of the body that needs it the most right now. Thank you so much for your energy, for joining me, and for letting me guide you through your practice. I hope I will see you next time, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. Thank you so much.